Hello, fellow gardeners. Welcome back to Living the Garden Life. So, it is a beautiful morning. I've been waiting for days to be out here. We've had negative degree temperatures, and so to get out here is really a treat. So, today I'm going to be planting out some potatoes. I'm going to be doing it differently though. Last year, I accidentally planted potatoes in the garden bed. That didn't really work out, but potatoes are actually super easy to plant. And if you don't have a garden bed, or if you want to kind of leave that room for planting something else, I have an idea for you. I'm going to be planting out potatoes in DIY grow bags. So if you have a reusable bag, or if you have a cardboard box or paper bags, so that's what we're going to actually use today. So I'm going to show you what I did. So I have a bag here from the big box store. I flipped it inside out so I don't have to see the logo. And I removed the handles. You don't have to do that. And the other thing that I did was I'm checking to see, I keep hearing the dog and they always just rush to the fence, but I don't know if they're out. But anyway, the other thing I did was I took two paper bags and I placed one inside the other. Let me show you here. This could also be a really fun project for you to do with the kids if you have children. So here is one paper bag, and it's actually a pretty good size, right? Here's one paper bag. And what you want to do is you want to find another bag that is similar to this size, and you want to place it into this bag. The reason you have to double it up because they're paper bags and they're going to fall apart. Paper bags, they fall apart easily because you're going to get wet. You're going to have to water it. It's going to be out here. There will be rain. It's April. So I have another paper bag here. It's not quite the same size, but what I've decided to do was I'm just going to place this one inside of the short one. And again, the reason I'm doing this is because paper bags are fragile. I know this isn't sturdy, but like I said, it's a fun project. It will keep for the season for your potatoes. And if it doesn't, we'll just try something else next year. But here I have the two bags. They're not quite the same size, so you can see that you can do it even if it's not the same size. And then what I did was I raked up some leaves from my front yard. I picked them up. I'm going to put them at the bottom of each bag. Put them at the bottom of each bag. Woo. And you could see there, I don't have it too deep, okay? I just have it like up to here. Where are we? Yeah, up to here. And then I'm going to fill it with some soil, and I'm going to put my potatoes in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I've actually been growing my potatoes inside. I've been growing my potatoes in some water to get some roots on it. You don't have to do that. You can just bring the potato out and put it in without putting it. Okay, you can actually just take a potato that's chitting and just put it in the soil, and it still sprout. Potatoes are not complicated, but here I've had this in water for, there you go. I've had this in water for how long now? I would say at least a week and a half. So right here, I do have some roots. So it's ready to go. So before I plant it, first of all, I need to get soil in here, and then I'll plant that out. Let me go and grab some soil. I'm actually going to borrow soil from another garden bed here. Let's borrow some soil. I'm going to be repotting anyway, so I'll use some of this soil. Looks nice and rich. Oh, how messy. So I'm borrowing soil from another pot. There we go. And again, you want to keep it in one spot because these bags are paper. All right. That's enough for now. Okay. I probably, oh, I think for the next one, I'm going to put more leaves in here. But here is the potato. If you've started it indoors like I did, you're going to want to take your toothpicks out because you can reuse them. And you're going to bury this entire thing. You're going to bury it. Where do I put my toothpicks? Let's put it in here. That's why it's good to have pockets outside. I'm going to put this in and I'm going to bury the whole thing. The whole, oh, and make sure this side is up. Okay. Bury that in there. And then we're going to cover it up with soil again. And you're going to cover the whole thing. The whole thing. I wouldn't worry too much about the type of soil I use either. It, to me, it doesn't have to be potting. I usually use potting soil for pots, but like I said, potatoes are super easy. I don't think it's going to make a difference whether it's garden soil or potting soil. All right. So let me show you. This is completely covered. Completely covered. Okay. So if you notice, I planted like it's way down here. I planted down here. What's going to happen is as the potato continues to grow, you're going to see that green plant come up. You're going to keep putting more and more soil on top and cover it up, and that will give you more potatoes. Here are some potatoes growing inside already. So I was talking about this part here. So what happens is when I take this outside, I'm going to dump more soil on top of this whole thing, cover it up, and then that will help to produce more potatoes. So that's what we're doing. I have uh, another grow bag here. I do have it filled with leaves, and that's what I'm going to be doing to plant out my potatoes for this year. Another thing I'm going to be doing on this video is, since we're here, I'm going to repot this guy right here. I need to get some flowers going. This is an Abbott's Wood Potentilla. Okay, I just saw it. I thought the flowering looked pretty, so you're going to get some white flowers there. And the pot is small, so I'm going to transfer it to this pot here that I had to remove soil from anyway. This pot here, and it's going to give this plant a lot more room to grow its roots. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Now, the soil in here at the bottom, I don't know. It feels like kind of heavy. Huh. So I'm going to see how this does in this pot. Oh, I have some. I may just change out the soil. Should I? Well, I don't know. So here are the differences in size in terms of the pots that I'm going to be using. This is almost like double the size, so the pot is going to love this. So let's get that out of there. Oh gosh, hang on. Um, Just wake the roots up a bit. Just plant this in here. Oh no, soil everywhere. Let's take some more out. I always keep the tags on the plants because half the time they're plants that I'm not totally familiar with, and I would have no idea what was going up. So I just keep the tags on. As you can imagine, the soil is quite wet in this pot. I do need some more though. So I'm just pouring soil all over the place today. All right. So he's all potted up and ready to do its thing. Um, by the way, if you're curious, this plant, Potentilla, Abbott's Wood Potentilla, it is a dwarf shrub and it grows to a mature height of 50 to 60 centimeters tall, which is not that tall. Um, 30 centimeters is about, yeah, 30 centimeters is about here. So, yeah, it's a decent sized shrub and it's good to have some flowers amongst the plants. I haven't planted any of that yet. So, this was my first flower pot. So, I'm going to go ahead and water these guys in. I honestly don't think I'm going to water this soil. Well, I'll give it a little bit of water. I know myself. I'll give it a little bit of water. I'll water the potatoes and then we're off to growing more potatoes. So happy planting. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning, and you have yourself a good day. Take care. Bye bye.